Hi everyone and welcome. My name is Yeva and in this video we'll talk about how and why we normalize raw performance metrics at SkillCorner to make fair comparison between players regardless of how many minutes they played. So imagine two wingers. One played 90 minutes, the other one only 30. One made 12 sprints and the other one just 5. Who is better? The first one seems more active, but if we scale the second player numbers to a 90-minute basis, we might find he is actually more efficient. And on the screen, you can see the difference between high intensity distance metric normalized and not. The values are significantly different after normalization, and also after it will impact rankings and percentiles too. So normalization removes the bias of playing time and allows us to focus on a player true style and intensity. I have opened our combined template that has data about physical and GI performance to show you different types of normalization we have. So we use different approaches depending on the nature of the metric. It can be normalization per 90 or per 60 minutes bowling playtime. It can be top N values normalization. For example, for time to sprint, we use top 3 values, or sometimes no normalization at all, just averages across matches, for example, for PSV. For GI, so that was for physical data. For GI, it can be normalization per 30 minutes of team in possession or opponent team in possession, depending on the metric. So let's start with P90. This is a classic approach. We calculate what a player would typically produce in a full 90-minute match. And I'm gonna show you the example of DAX code that we use. I'm gonna also attach all the codes that can help you. So to create a metric, to create a measure, you have to click on 3 dots on the table, choose new measure, and you will see here a window for putting your DAX code. And here you can start creating your metric, P90, high intensity distance, and so on. I'll just show you the metrics already normalized that we already have in our template. For example, so first we're taking the average of full value metric, multiplying 90 and dividing by minutes of player spent on the pitch. For P60, it's the same. So we're taking the metric ball in play and multiplying 60 dividing by minutes ball in play. For, let's also check time to sprint. That's how we do this. We take top 3 best values of the sprinting time and taking the average. For PSV, as I said, we don't do any normalization, just taking the average because it's a peak speed velocity. And for GI metrics in possession, we usually take a metric, multiplying by 30 and dividing by minutes team in possession. And sometimes the metric can also be a ratio. In this case, we also don't need any normalization, so we're just counting ratio that we need. So my advice is always think about which normalization is more fair for exact metric, depending on how many minutes the player played on the pitch. So that's all about normalizations. Thank you for watching the video. In the next episode, we will talk about filtering and we'll start to build our first visuals. See you and bye.